In the last episode, we saw some sweet rollers of Dylan's Miata with our new gimbal equipment and all that stuff. And then first impressions, and a slight little oil leak.
There was this little itty bitty drip coming from my front main seal. It wasn't even enough to leave any residue on my garage floor, but we're going to the dyno. I don't want this to cause a problem, so we need to take care of that, as well as injectors. The injectors that I was actually running, believe it or not, were off of my 1.6. So they were getting up in the duty cycle, so we needed to change them out for some RX-8 injectors that we had laying around. So that meant not only replacing them, but updating the tune. A couple other little odds and ends, but those were our main concerns with getting ready for the dyno. Now, of course, you know, these things seem pretty simple. Let's do them Saturday afternoon, say around 4 o'clock. We had the dyno the next day. We're planning on leaving at 9 a.m. Shouldn't be a problem. Well, we got into it and pulled out the front main seal. Believe it or not, Dylan doesn't know how to order parts from Rock Auto. It was the wrong seal that I had ordered, so it was around, what, 4:45 on a Saturday night, and we had about 15 minutes to go to a local shop and try to buy one from a parts store. I go, I find it, it's the wrong size.
No, God! No, God, please, no!
Yeah, so big shout out. There's a big network of Miata people in upstate New York. So first reached out to a buddy in Syracuse, John Doe. He's building a VVT motor, just like us. And he's not at the point of assembly yet where he needs his front main seal. So he actually offered for us to go out there and pick it up, about an hour-and-a-half round trip. We would have gotten there at like 8:30 at night. So all in all, wouldn't have been back here until 10, you know, probably 2 o'clock.
Not ideal.
Yeah.
This was going to be turning into an all-nighter. However, it turned out that a legend was living right down the street. Joe Costanza. He's got a turbo Miata. You will be seeing it on this channel soon. We'll be doing a review of his car, but he came in the clutch.
Yep, so he has a pile of spare parts at his house, just like all of us do apparently. And he happened to have a brand new OEM, like from Mazda, front main seal sitting in a little baggie. So drove out there, it's like 5-6 miles away, picked it up, and it was perfect size, perfect everything. Slapped the car back together, and then
turns out that our alternator was having problems.
No! No! No!
Believe it or not, the connection there just wasn't correct. There's like a little plastic tab that had broken, and we blew not 1, not 2, but 3 main fuses before we figured out what the problem was. Or at least what we were hoping at the time what the problem was. So that left us in a pretty tight spot. Turns out another legend is living here in Rochester, Cam, person that you've seen on this channel before. I sold my engine to. He took his main fuse out of a running car, the alternator off of my old engine, donated it to the cause of the dyno day. We grabbed it from him this morning. We just installed it, and guess what? It all works.
Yep.
And we've got, I don't know, about 5 minutes to spare before getting out of here. So I mean, I guess we could have done a couple other things, but you know.
yeah.
Anyway, now that you're up to speed on where we are, expectations for the car. My hopes were hitting around 144 originally today. Now, I've done a couple other things to the car since, so it'd be nice to be around 150 to 160 wheel horsepower. That would put me at about 180 horsepower to the wheel of, you know, doing the 100 horsepower per liter mark of a true sports car, in my opinion, for NA. So hopefully we can get there today. But I'm just happy that the car runs, and we'll be going.
horsepower at 123 torque. No, you got 140 horsepower and 130 torque.
So Dyno Day's a wrap. I had to leave early for other commitments, so I'm going to let Dylan kind of take the ball on this one.
Well, first off, my computer and my car listened to Rick. So it wasn't no 6-hour dyno sesh. Mine was 2 hours tops. And I'm happy to report that on the E85 tune, we're making 140 horsepower and 130 foot-pounds of torque. Pump gas, we're making about 5 less in both categories. So interesting fact, even on an NA engine as old and as simple as the 1.8 VVT, you are seeing gains. Even Rick was surprised about the amount. He really didn't expect to see anything, and we were pleasantly surprised. So that was a big win in and of itself. The other thing is, I believe I've proven out my concept, being in the torque area. If you don't know Quinn and his build, it's awesome. Go check out Slip Angle Media, their channel. Quinn's ITB NB is famous. Car Passion channel. Greg's driven it. Speed Academy has had it on. It's an awesome build. So I've had that in the back of my head, and I'm wondering how close can I get to that engine on a budget. And I'm already there now on torque, which is exciting. Really, because his car revs a lot higher than mine. He's got cams, he's got ITBs, all that make it breathe better, and that's where he's getting that power up top from. So, how close can I get there? We're gonna find out.
Does the budget go out the window?
Does the budget go out the window? Those numbers were from a dyno jet. Ours is from the Soul Taker Land and Sea. So if we were to do that correction that the Google has told us to do, we're probably looking at closer to 159 horsepower and 149 foot-pounds. Now, I'm not going to say that that's what my car makes. That's allegedly. We want to go to a dyno jet and run both our cars, really just to see if there is any sort of difference there.
Yeah, you always hear a lot of talk about, you know, this dyno reads that, this dyno reads this. Until you get the same cars and the same dyno, you can't be sure. So even if you wanted to run on a dyno jet, until you ran on the same dyno jet on the same day as Quinn, where it's still speculating a fair bit. So
for sure,
we definitely want to get some data points across different dynos and see where we stand. But
at the end of the day, what is a fact is the car was making 102 horsepower, and now it's making 140.
On Rick's dyno, both times.
And also went from 100 foot-pounds to 130. The car feels awesome on the road. I wouldn't sit here and say, you know, it's as fast as a turbo or a supercharged of some of our local friends, but it's urgent, and it's a huge difference. And there's clearly still room to grow, even NA. So we're gonna find out how that goes. Anyway, next episode, we're gonna do driving impressions. We're gonna do more of a summary on the video. So stay tuned, subscribe, smash that like, no, I'm just kidding. I'm not gonna actually say that in the video. But if you did like the video, give it a like. It actually makes a difference and helps our channel grow. And stay tuned. Smash that! I'm just kidding. I'm doing that every time.
Absolutely found that like button. Start from the beginning.
Yeah.